Hi everyone! Is your garden under snow? Are you shutting things down for the winter time? Well, today I'm going to show you how to grow a tomato plant indoors so you can still have fresh tomatoes all winter long and beat those winter blues. Or maybe you're a southern gardener like I am, you get little to no frost. You can still grow outside, but it's so much fun to have fresh tomatoes at your fingertips right inside near your kitchen. Now the key is when you're growing tomatoes indoors is to keep it simple. So this is my favorite Tiny Tim dwarf tomato. It's very easy to grow. It's smaller, more suited for indoor growing. Love to grow it outdoors. It's super productive, but it's going to be easy to grow inside as well. You're going to love it. So I just want to show you my indoor garden grocery store. Here we are, guys. Don't you want to do this? You definitely can, so you have fresh, tasty vegetables all winter long. If you don't, you're going to regret it. So let me just show you around a little bit. Here we have microgreens. We did a video on that a few weeks ago. A lot of you are growing those. Fresh, tasty lettuce. Who doesn't love salads all year long, even during the winter time? We've got tons of herbs down here. And today the star of the show is the tomato, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to grow this indoors. Now I do have a few Tiny Tim plants that I started maybe 8 weeks or so ago, and what we're going to do today is I'm going to take these outdoors and transplant them into a larger pot, show you how to get a grow light set up so that you can get some growing just as soon as possible. Now I'm going to grow my tomato plant indoors, but I thought we'd come outside today and enjoy the California sunshine together while we transplant our tomato and plant up some more seeds. So first off, you're going to need some Tiny Tim tomato plants. Now, little caution here, don't try and grow a full-size tomato indoors. It's just going to be way too complicated and too difficult, take up too much space. Tiny Tim is perfect. I love this tomato. It's about 2 feet tall, super prolific, very well suited for indoor growing. So today we're going to start some seeds 2 different ways, in a little 1-gallon smart pot or in a little 6-pack. You can do whichever way you prefer. Both are filled with my DIY seed starting mix. You can also use organic potting mix. It doesn't really matter, but check out the video on this if you want to know how to make the DIY mix. And then you're going to need some seeds. Now you can grab my indoor garden seed collection. The Tiny Tims are in there. There's 10 varieties in here of plants that are easy to grow indoors, including microgreens, lettuce, as well as herbs. And the Tiny Tims, teeny tiny little tomato seeds. And you're going to be harvesting your own tomatoes indoors in just a couple of months. So for my 6-pack little seed cell, I'm going to plant 2 little seeds in each seed cell. Teeny tiny little tomato seeds, just drop them in there. And I love the seed starting mix because it's nice and fine, and it's really well suited for starting seeds. So these seeds you're going to grow in the little 6-packs or in your little 1-gallon smart pots here for about 8 weeks, and then we're going to transplant it into the 5-gallon when it gets a little bit bigger, so it has plenty of space to grow. Now the wind is picking up, but we're going to do the best we can out here because we love coming out in the sunshine. And I'm going to drop about 3 or 4 seeds in my 1-gallon here. And I'm just going to poke them down in there. Kind of pat them down. Same for the 6-pack. Super easy to get these seeds started, and believe me, in about 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to be so glad you did this. So now we're just going to spray the top here. Keep that top nice and moist. And we're going to pop these back under grow lights in just a moment. I'll show you how to get indoor grow light set up. It's so easy. Don't be intimidated by that. You definitely will need a grow light for these tomatoes to grow and to produce for you indoors. And there you go. We got our Tiny Tim tomato seeds planted. You can grab seeds and supplies over at CaliKimGardeningHome.com, 15% off with the code TinyTim until Monday, November 14th. Now that we have a fresh batch of seeds started, I'm going to plant this seedling here into this 5-gallon smart pots. Now the reason why I'm doing that is a 1-gallon is just not enough room to grow this tomato to full size. This one is probably about 12 weeks or so old, and it definitely needs transplanted because it's starting to get little flower buds on it, and we want to get some tomatoes on it very soon. So this again is filled with my seed starting mix, but you can use just regular potting mix if you want to. I'm just going to dig a hole in the middle here and get my tomato as deep as I possibly can into the pot. Because if you've grown tomatoes before, you know that wherever the stem touches the soil, it sends out fresh new roots. So what I'm going to do now is pull out my tomato seedling from my little 1 gallon pot here and move it over into my 5 gallon. I'm going to get down in here again and get it as deep in the pot as I can. Just dig in there, get your hands in the soil. Always smells nice and earthy. Now I always like to fertilize when I transplant my seedlings. So here I have the Vermicera Vitality. It does have a really natural growth hormone in it, and it helps your plants avoid transplant shock. So I'm just gonna douse it down here. And one thing that's really nice about the 5 gallon Smart Pots is it does have drainage. The fabric is aerated, very durable fabric, and it's also really easy to pick up and move around if you need to. And here I've got it on a drip tray, which is a 13 to 15 inch drip tray for the 5 gallon pot. Let's go put this indoors on the grow lights, and we'll show you how easy that is to get set up too. We're going to put all of our tiny Tims under grow lights, and grow lights are so much easier to get set up than you think. You can check out my video on how to do that. The seeds that we just started here are going to go on the grow light shelf. So these are just LEDs with special grow lights attached to them, and I have them hanging here from these shelves. It's super easy to put in a corner of your living room or your dining room. You notice here I'm just putting my little 6-pack about 2 or 3 inches from the top of the grow light. That way the seedlings don't get leggy as they grow, and you can expect them to germinate in about a week to 2 weeks, depending on how warm or cold your house is. The warmer the better. Put our little 1 gallon here on the second shelf. Let me just grab my transplant and I'll show you the easiest grow light setup of all. Now, if you don't have time or space to get a big grow light shelf set up, all you need is a very simple clamp light like I have here. So this you can find at any hardware store, and it does have a special grow light bulb inside of it here. And it does need to have the correct amount of lumens and Kelvin so it will actually grow your plant. And my grow light video will have all the information, and there'll be links in this video description on all the supplies that I use here. But you just need a little corner. So here I've got it attached to a PVC pole, a gallon milk jug about halfway filled with sand to keep it nice and stable. We'll set my tiny Tim underneath it, and we leave our grow lights on for 18 hours a day, off for 6 hours a day, and I also have them attached to a timer so I don't have to worry about turning them on and off. What I love about this setup is not only is it super simple and super inexpensive, but you can also move your clamp light up and down this pole as the plants grow. Now what I want you to do now is subscribe, because we're going to have tons more videos on indoor gardening this winter. You definitely want to come along with me on that. I'm going to show you how to water, fertilize, stake up your tomato plant, as well as pollinate it so you can get tomatoes. And we're going to be doing some videos on growing greens, growing herbs, and you definitely want to grow your whole garden grocery store with me. So comment below, let me know if you're in with your indoor gardening this winter time, and head over to CaliKimGardenandHome.com. Grab your indoor garden seed collection so you don't miss out on any growing. It's 15% off right now. With the code TINYTIM, you get a free purple pea seed packet with your purchase. That sale goes till Monday, November 14th. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.